I mean, that's what's interesting when you mix business with pleasure, is you go, my pleasure is now my business. And that's oftentimes what happens in entertainment stuff too. It's like, I used to, you know, you're complaining about like a brand deal or something. You're like, man, I want to take this deal. And you go like, yeah, but I make videos for fun. So, but it takes the fun out of it when you're thinking with like this money mindset with it. You know? If you let your money dictate how you're feeling, you're not going to feel genuine about it. I guess.
Do you ever feel like having so many conversations on camera in the context of podcasts sort of affects your ability to just have lighthearted, small talk type conversations off camera?
Sometimes, yeah, I could feel that.
Yeah.
I do feel like sometimes, like if I'm on a date, it doesn't feel super. It doesn't feel like flirtatious. It feels like very interviewing.
If you go on a date with a girl who has a genuinely bad personality, and you're someone who day in, day out, you are on camera working at having a good personality. And when you're on stage, you're basically working on the art of entertaining a person and making people feel good and making them laugh. And then you hang out with somebody who has never thought about this, who has not a care in the world to like how engaging their personality is. And that can be really tough to be like, damn, I did fucking 5 podcasts this week and all of them were these great conversations. And now I'm kicking it with you and you are not in any way holding my attention.
It's a props to you. It's a pat on your back being like, but it's hard for me to turn that into like flirtatious because I just get full interview mode. I'm like, so growing up in Northern Illinois, what was it? You know,
but it's a useful skill because in reality,
I think I can have a conversation with anyone.
Yeah, if you want to like be a pussy fiend and like meet a lot of girls and talk them up and have sex with them or whatever, like many men are interested in, not you, not I, of course. But if you want if you want to master that skill, basically interviewing chicks is kind of like the thing, because what the fuck else are you going to talk about at dinner? Yeah, you're going to talk about yourself and everything, but you're going to have like nothing is going to make them feel more comfortable or valued or interesting, which are all things that human beings crave, than you essentially interviewing her, making her feel important, etc. Before I got a girlfriend, when I was doing podcasts, the ratio of girls that I would interview who would then like I would either hook up with or would like express some interest in hooking up at some point was pretty fucking high, because that experience of you sitting across from them, looking them in the eye, and I don't mean for this to infer that we're gonna have sex, but
hey, what's up?
It's kind of inviting, you know. It's kind of like that's sort of, you're establishing the rapport, you're making them feel important. You're sort of like it feels pretty natural, I think, for a girl to sleep with a guy after a podcast.
Well, also it's like you are this, like where I'm at right now, this is like your home court right here. You are like, this is like, instead of a casting couch, this one for sure.
I want to let you know that you've made it. You're going to be on Plug Talk. Bend over,
that's what
buddy.
I thought I was doing today. It's like, welcome to No Jumper. I was like, no jumper, fuck all this. But it's like you are the most comfortable version of you in that chair because you do this week in and week out. But then you go to a random bar in Hollywood, you're sitting at a table, you're like, oh, hey, so how was your day? But like the conversation starts like whatever. But here you're like, we're in your presence, you know?
Yeah.
So if I'm a girl and then you're just riffing, you're funny, you're saying what's up to all these people, you're cracking jokes, it's like, oh, that's kind of the man.
Yeah.
You know? So on a random date, you're both just two people just chilling there, just being like, hello, hi.
But that's what sucks, is that a lot of times when you're in the club or whatever, it's like by default, the guy who's commanding the most attention is
Fedora,
the guy
gold chains.
who's like,
but he's flirting with his looks. I do terrible in clubs because I feel like I'm all personality or like tone. Like I can like jokingly say stuff, but it's hard to,
because you're bad at peacocking.
Yes.
You're not like presenting yourself like, oh, look at me, I'm a king. I'm look at my jewelry and my cool Jerry curl and everything. Yeah.
That clubs are terrible for me, right? And especially if it's dark, you know, I'm just like over there, I'm like putting my iPhone flashlight on my Facebook. Has you seen that TikTok or anything? But it's just hilarious. I mean, clubs are like comedically funny.
Yeah.
It's just like the funniest like people. There's a club I go to a lot out here that's just been fun. And I see the same people every single time.
What's it called?
Off Sunset.
Okay.
You know that one?
No, because I haven't been to a club in like 5 years.
It's like I don't even know what it is.
Is it lounge-ish? Is it kind of low-key?
Yeah, it's kind of like low-key, but it's like every time you go there, it's like the same dudes. It's the same.
I find that depressing when I go to a bar over and over and it's the same people. Even though that makes sense, because why would there be a different staff working there on a different day?
Staff is one thing, but I'm talking the same dudes at the same table, at the same bottle service,
and it's like, you thought this was cool 6 months ago when I saw you here, and you still think it's cool. You still are like that geeked up on being here, but I respect it so much.
But it's the same Balenciaga t-shirt they got on every single time. I don't know. It's just like I'll go there like for like one drink after a show or something in Hollywood, just because me and for friends are just like, oh, let's just do a thing.
I think it's good to have that kind of relationship with nightlife, is
yes,
to have
like
cool adult options. Like I myself
yes.
have just gotten to the point of like, well, it's having a young kid too, because it's like if we're gonna go, we need to get a babysitter. That's a whole thing, and it's like realistically, even then, like if the kid's waking up at 5:30, how fucking late are you gonna stay out? If you're staying out till 1 a.m,
it doesn't matter.
You're a trooper if you're getting up at 5:30.
You're on your kid's time.
Doesn't
matter.
Why would you want to make that compromise?
Yeah, but a club like that for me, it's like, since I do stand up on the weekends for the most part, it's like I'm working at night. So to just do stand up all week and all weekend, you know, you're like, oh fuck, I kind of want to have like 1% of like let's do a thing, let's enjoy a little bit.
Right.
So it'll be like, after the show, you go there for like a drink or two, you hang out, and then you're like, all right, cool, we did work tonight and we had a little bit of fun. And then you get to leave. But yeah, it's when you go in there, it's the same dude just fucking bottle servicing it up every night. You're like, man, I mean, I don't know. Whatever you want to do. If that's for you, then
it's weird though, because it's like there is so much opportunity in that networking.
There is, yeah.
And I've seen so many people who essentially like became success stories because they hung out in nightclubs and formed really, really good relationships with people, and then basically turned that into work relations.
I don't want to like shit on it by any means. It's
I myself have absolutely no desire to do it, but I see the value in it.
Yes.
And I was engaging with clubs and all that for like the wrong reason when I was going, because I was just going, getting fucked up, and then just like trying to holler at girls. And it's like I ignored the fact that there really are so many relationships you could make in there that like if you want to get ahead in life, meeting these types of people is like a massive opportunity. I'm sure that the more time that you spend in comedy clubs, the more opportunities you get to go on people's podcasts, to go on tours, to get booked at other shows, whatever. Like even if you're not performing, you just being in that room has got to have all kinds of benefits.
Yeah, it's just kind of just staying active in the scene. Whether that's why I think it's like I'll try to like just keep making videos and doing everything that I love to do, but also keep doing stand up, because they all feed into each other. Then if I go to a comedy club, somebody goes, "Dude, I saw that one video you did the other day. It's so fucking funny." Blah blah blah. Then you start chopping it up, and then they're like, then that connection is just there.
Right.
So whether you're not on stage, you're still. I'm always just trying to stay active.
Right.
That way, there's like I never want to be the dude who's just there.
All right, people, we just hit 300,000 subscribers. You know we're trying to hit 400,000 subscribers. So that little red button, tap it, tap in. Appreciate y'all.